On the move again. Here we are, moving. God, I'm sorry, it's been a while. Some stuff has happened. Some stuff has happened here in LA. It's I'm not gonna lie. Things have happened. Slowed down the gum works a little hiccup in the forward momentum of On the Move. I was trying to drop On the Moves regularly, and I got sort of bogged down with this really intense job where I was doing a lot. I was kind of on the night shift. I still am. I'm actually, it's 4:45. I'm on my way into work. The motion control is not ready for me, so I'll probably be waiting around. I probably won't get launched until about 7. And then I'll pull an all-nighter, as we do on this particular job, because it has sort of this intense delivery, because I think it needs to go live on some sort of program. I don't know, whatever. Out of money, out of time, I guess. But stop motion night shifts never really work. They never work, because imagine something goes wrong in the middle of the night, right? You kick a camera, or a light goes out, or your set shifts, your puppet breaks, and you're all alone, 4 a.m, and you're not sanctioned to do other people's job. You're not going to open a puppet and fix something that's broken. You're probably going to drop what you're doing and leave, or you're going to, the lack of sleep and the stress is going to cause you to do something stupid, and so the support team isn't there. The wheels start to fall off the buggy when you go into night shifts, but I'm in a pressure cooker, stressful job, while Los Angeles is on fire. Liz, my lovely wife Liz, and my son Gus were about a mile from the blaze. Gus's school was canceled all week. The smoke was so bad that they had to evacuate, and they fled to my parents' house in Palm Springs. They luckily made it through the high winds. There were downed trees everywhere on the highway. But they made it safely to my parents' house. And I stayed with a friend just to avoid the smoke. My house is okay. It's still standing. The house that I rent probably does not have fire insurance. But the blaze came awfully close to our house and my son's school, and so I was unable to stay at my house for a couple days. But I'm back in my home because the winds have shifted and there's a little respite. But I think this is going to be ongoing. This is this apocalyptic. Dude, we're surrounded with it looks like Vesuvius in all directions. I'm looking at the mountainside, kind of like towards Hollywood, and it's in flames right now, whereas the one behind our house was in flames like a night ago. Altadena is destroyed. My good friend Tommy and Chelsea, I heard, lost their home. I haven't checked in with them. I'm sure they're being inundated with concerned people. Hopefully we can mount some sort of Indiegogo, and we're going to rally, and we're going to survive this. And it is gnarly. Being on the ground real time in Los Angeles for this week has been very, very, very intense. And terrifying. You know, I'm. Monday I took my car in to get fixed, and they didn't have the part, and so they held on to my car all week. So I haven't had a car. So my producer was kind enough to sort of Uber me around. I didn't have to Uber on my own time. But, you know, I'm going back and forth from Sylmar to Hollywood. And I get the whole panorama. I get to see the whole swath of destruction from corner to corner. And it's intense. It's tragic. It's horrifying. It's, you don't... Los Angeles, for those of you who haven't been here, is so massive. You can fit like a dozen cities in LA. It's a sprawling area of land surrounded with mountains and ocean, and it feels impervious to this level of destruction. But it was a perfect storm. Perfect storm. And so many things went wrong, as you all know. I'm not going to go through all that bullshit, but stop motion's surviving. I'm in the middle of a job. We lost power at one point. There was sort of an emergency evacuation at one point. I think the smoke just got so bad at one point. So there's been some hiccups on this production. But, we're in the night shift lane, so we're trying to get her done. But, I'm grateful to have work. I kind of wish I was in Palm Springs with my family. They're super concerned about me being here. But I'm glad that, there's some strong, courageous people in stop motion humping it here in LA. Amidst this apocalyptic moment, God, I wish I wish this was a video podcast right now, because it's a glorious sunset. And this orange-red sun is setting behind these smoky mountains as I head off to my night shift. So bizarre. And, we've gotten through, it seems like we've gotten through the toughest part. My aunt had to emergency evacuate. She was in a nursing home with Alzheimer's in Altadena, and her nursing home burnt down. The whole facility burnt down. And she was moved to another facility. And I think her daughter, my cousin, is likely going to take her home to live with her. So many people are homeless. So many people have lost their homes and their lives. Everybody's suffering from smoke inhalation. The last 2 nights I've woken up feeling like I'm hungover with a massive headache because of all of the crazy, weird chemicals that we're inhaling. Because it's not just a, campfire. It's not just trees that are burning. Cars and buildings and trash cans and, everything under the sun is exploding and bursting into flames, it seems like. And, oh man, my drive home the other night, I looked up toward the Eaton canyon fire, and I'm a little, I'm pretty close, but I'm not that close. And it was so spooky to see that much smoke rising. It's just so intense. And the winds, oh my gosh, the winds were, everybody's talking about the winds, but like when you're here driving around, that's when you're like, oh shit. My buddy Matt was on the freeway and a tree fell in front of him. It was, a big branch from a tree, and he was in a 4x4 truck, and he didn't have time to swerve or brake. He ran over this giant tree limb, going pretty damn fast, like going at least 40 miles an hour. And he was like, honestly, Mish, I've encountered worse, the LA streets aren't great. I've encountered worse potholes. Oh my God, I'm looking at this. And these are king-size branches falling off of big giant trees that have not been, none of the brush has been cleared. Because, California was not prepared for this. We weren't prepared with water reserves. We weren't prepared with, our fire department funding was very slashed, but luckily, people are anyway, the winds have kind of died down, but man, the winds were so insane. They were whipping in all directions, tearing down trees and blowing semis over, and you could get killed just by standing under the wrong tree in wind like that. It's the kind of wind that'll pick something up and fucking knock you over with it. It is pretty gnarly, and so all that oxygen is feeding this fire that's just blazing out of control because they don't have the sort of the personnel and tools to sort of manage it. And it's not just the 2 fires, it's the 4 or the 5, or it's like 5 small ones and 4 giant ones. And they're all over, different areas. It's not just in one section. So my hat's off to all the firefighters that are probably working double shifts, triple shift, quadruple shifts to sort of mitigate and cut these fires off and put them out. I'm sure there's loads of firefighters that are not going to survive this because they're putting themselves in harm's way. I'm looking at a fire right now, and this is not up in the mountains far away. This is right down in the lowlands. I'm on San Fernando and Allen Street, and I'm looking at some warehouse in, Burbank, right in front of me. Smoke is pouring out of it. So it's like, there's fires everywhere. It's kind of gotten comically ridiculous. Down in the lowlands, there's fires. In the foothills, there's fires. There's, and I think there's some that are probably like arsonists or angry, deranged people that are probably taking advantage and just lighting fires. It's, imagine this inability for police and firefighters to respond properly to anything because their fucking phone is ringing off the hook. I'm looking at another pillar of smoke. It's surreal. I don't mean to sound alarmist, but it's gnarly here, anyway, blah blah blah, that's the latest on the move. Upbeat stuff from Southern California. Stop motion scene brought to you by fucking whatever. something funny. Stay vigilant and keep your sense of humor, people. Remember, if you have your life and you have your health, that's all that matters. The rest of this bullshit is replaceable. We will survive and we will find a way to thrive. And from the ashes, we will rise. I love you all. Stay strong.